live in this neighborhood, St. Anthony's, Gower Street neighborhood?
No, unfortunately, I did not. I came up to Clemson University from Miami, Florida. And as a student at Clemson, I was looking for a Roman Catholic church, and St. Anthony was available. And I came in and met Father Paul Williams, and since then I've been here at St. Anthony's.
Oh, that sounds good. And you used to teach at the school.
I taught at the school, yes.
That's very, very good. When you taught at the school, were there a lot of students that lived in the neighborhood that?
Yes, most of the surrounding neighbors were students of the school, and later on they became converts to Catholicism.
And that just supports the theory that our historical African American schools, although they may not have a lot of Catholic students, and the majority of them are non-Catholic, but it serves the purpose of evangelization.
Precisely.
Yeah.
And that's what we're all about in our mission, both in our church and school mission. Yes.
That's my house, and the house on the corner was the Wakefield.
That's right. So, this is the old neighborhood, and this is Betty Houston. I'm Kathleen Merritt, and she and I both lived on this street. Betty, let's talk about the location of your house. That was it right there,
The
right?
second house on the corner, and the first house on the corner was the Wakefield house. And where this empty lot is, the Little family lived here, and they went to St. Anthony's too. They weren't Catholic, but they went to St. Anthony's. The Smith family lived there. Their kids went to St. Anthony's. And next to that was where the Wright family lived.
So, what are your personal feelings in regards to having a school or a parish to serve in a community for the evangelization of Black Catholics or African American Catholics?
I think it's essential because it's that way that we know that our mission is, we're carrying out our mission statement. When we see results, for example, when we have our community picnic, we invite the larger community to come in. When we have other social events, we're always inviting the community to participate. So we're not only doing the call of God, which He asks us to do with our brothers and sisters, but they become a part of our St. Anthony's community as well.
Okay, for historical purposes, this is the site of Kathleen Merritt's childhood home.
Yes, it is. I grew up here. Another house is here, of course. This was not the original house that was here. And this house was at the corner where the bus stopped, right here at the corner of Bernie Street. And when we would get out of school, St. Anthony's, we would all walk together home. We would all be in the same lines, and we stop in front of everyone's house as they go inside. Well, there were people that didn't live in the neighborhood, African Americans, but they came from, what was it, Fieldcrest?
Fieldcrest, Nicholtown,
Fieldcrest and Nicholtown,
Washington Heights.
Washington Heights. And they rode the city bus. So they walked here, I would stop here, and they would stand on the corner there and wait for the city bus. I would come out and talk to them because I didn't have anything else to do. I was always way ahead of everyone else with my homework. But anyway. No, and you know, it was a time in which there would be white kids on the bus, and we were called niggers and spit on, and we just kept on going. But the next day we were reported to the nuns at the church, and they would always make a phone call, do something to where it never happened again.
That's what year that was, what time period that happened when they did that?
That was in the 60s. And yeah, that was, yeah, I was born in 1956, so about what, 8 or 10?
I'm 2 years old. So.
Betty is 10 years older than me.
So
Yeah.
you said you failed the nuns at St. Anthony's?
We had nuns in every classroom from the Franciscan order, and it was kind of neat because we had what do you call safety guards? What do you call them in the school? Patrols. We had patrols, maybe 4 of them on each side, and we would all out together. And the public school was across the street. It was called Gower Elementary School, and we'll show you a picture of that later on. But the kids that went to the public school didn't like us. They would throw rocks at us and things like that, but our safety guards would protect us. And we had a song that we would sing, and I don't really remember it, but it had something to do with being the mighty crusaders. I remember that. And we would sing that song as we walked home, and we shut them out. They didn't bother us.
They didn't like your wife because you go
Well,
to
we
St.
had on
Anthony's?
uniforms, and we were all together. And of course we were quiet. We weren't supposed to make a lot of noise when we were walking home. Those were the instructions. And so I guess
You were different.
we were different, and you
The
know,
norm.
and kids just do that. They still do that today, I think.
Okay. I was saying this is a very interesting experience for me because I did not grow up in the U.S. So the racial divide is kind of new when I came to the United States. But I'm seeing my grandbabies and my children going through that still. So listening to Grandlady and Lady Mary explain this is like an eye-opening. And I'm learning.
Where are you from originally?
I was born in the Philippines.
In the Philippines? And you are from the diaspora, the Africa diaspora, as part of our heritage. These neighborhood stories and what you're seeing here, are they similar to perhaps the neighborhood you grew up in? Was your neighborhood like kind of segregated? We had segregated neighborhoods at that time.
We are segregated. We still are at some point. I was the only black one in school for a long time, so I was called Cheetah. You know that Charleston movie with
How
Cheetah.
did that make you feel?
Rebellious. It hurt, but they were rebellious. One nun in I went to St. Mary's School. One of the nuns said, "You'd be better than them. Do something that you're good at, excel, and don't listen." So I ran track, played softball, basketball. I played all sports, and I stopped playing sports. And like you said, never got picked to play with the kids. You know, they would always say, "Yo, don't pick Cheetah" and all that. I don't think they knew my name, but I graduated on top of my class, so they knew my name then. Thank you.
I'm so sorry about that.
I like how you persevered.
It was our playground, and it was an old box factory. And in the evenings, when all the cars left the parking lot, we would go over and play softball.
Charles E. was the lifeguard here. That's how I met him.
And Rusty Daniels was the lifeguard here when I was here.
There's always room for improvement. One of the things I see in our community is our fallen away Catholics. How can we reach them? And that's one of the main things, you know, by word of mouth, inviting them back to Mass, or just having a workshop or some type of session where we invite them personally to come back to St. Anthony. Now, how we do that, you know, we can form a committee or something to do it. We've always talked about it, and we see them, but are they here physically? That's the thing. You know, telling them we miss them is not enough.
And talking about issues such as we're doing in the gathering of what we have seen and heard, a dialogue and reflection on race in America. Can you see that as a tool of evangelization?
Definitely. Because once we see it, okay, and we hear it, then we have to apply it. And if we don't follow that process, then we're losing